Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk to those of you out there who struggle with a fear of failure. What is a fear of failure? And how do we actually come to this position in life? Fear of failure is when we fear that we're going to fail at something if we get out there and give it a go. It's a fear of looking silly or like a failure in front of other people, a fear of embarrassment, fear of change and moving forward. Unfortunately, many of us become this way because of our previous experiences, how we were treated by our parents growing up in life, experiencing constant moments of disappointments. But there is good news for you, and you can come out of this. I want to talk to you about how Jesus never actually wants us to be okay and to settle in life at where we're at. He always wants us to continue to learn and to grow, to keep evolving, to keep pursuing destiny, to continue to go up, becoming a better version of yourself. Making mistakes is the only way that we're able to learn. Jesus wants that for you. He wants you to have an abundant life. He wants you to continue progressing throughout your life. He wants you to have the friendships that you're always desired to have. He wants you to have people around you that are going to help you. He wants you to get to that next stage in life. If you are someone who is struggling with the fear of failure, you probably also struggle with procrastination, not ever actually taking any action steps towards things. Whenever the thought comes to you of taking action towards something, you tend to freeze and do a bunch of other things rather than what you're really wanting to do to move forward. I'm going to share with you a personal story that I too have personally gone through a fear of failure. It got to a point where I was so sick and tired of this that something in me changed, and I just had that will, and I said to myself, I don't want to be like this any longer. I came to a place where I was isolating myself, only doing things that was safe without any risk, and it just my life turned into a boring, mundane routine. And that part of my brain that liked to take risks, to learn things, was completely shut down. I've been through many experiences in my life that led me to become this way and to play it safe, to stay in that box, to keep myself from reaching my full potential. I had these protective walls up. I would purposely avoid things that I know would help me to come out of this and to get better. But I want to let you know that you too can also come to this place. You don't have to stay where you are any longer. You do not have to stay stuck in this life. You do not need to settle for unhappiness. So I want to share with you guys some tips and strategies that I have been using that have personally been helping me. And I know that they will help you too. Tip number 1. Become a doer of the Word of God. Evangelizing. It not only has benefits of us helping the other person by sharing a gospel with the other person. Little do you know, as we evangelize, we also receive a reward. We are also getting healed. By purposely putting ourselves in the position to step out in faith, to speak to that person who looks unapproachable and difficult to speak to begin speaking to someone when you don't have the words to speak, and seeing that you can actually get through that experience. It allows you to slowly by slowly, it actually breaks off that fear of failure, that fear of rejection, fear that you're going to make a mistake and stuff up what you're saying in front of another person. I can personally testify that by me forcing myself to get out there and to evangelize and talk to people, that I know my flesh really doesn't want to do this, but if you're able to put your flesh aside and to have that goal of spiritually evolving, I'm telling you that you are going to see the fear of failure begin to drop off you. Tip number 2, write out a vision for yourself. And if you're a visual person, get pictures and create a vision board for yourself. What is it that you always wanted to do in life? Just put aside the limitations and what your mind may be telling you is not possible. Just do it. Whatever that may be. What kind of friendships you always wanted to have? What kind of relationship are you looking for? What career did you always want to follow in your life? Put this down on paper and make sure you go to this every day when you wake up. Keep looking at the vision board. The next piece of advice that I have for you guys is learn to accept that failure is actually a part of life. It's a part of living. How can we learn, evolve, and grow if we don't experience failure? Failure is what helps us to be able to progress in life, to be able to learn to use our full potential and to trust ourselves. For example, if you've been holding off on relocating to another city because you keep coming up with all these things like you don't have enough finances, what if it doesn't work out? What if I go there and I don't know anyone, I've got no support? By listening and giving in to those thoughts and fear, you've already excluded yourself from the experience and actually trying. I'll give you another perspective. What if you put all those fears aside and you actually took that decision to move and relocate to another city, despite feeling fearful, and you got there and you experienced it? You will actually gain some more self-trust and confidence within yourself and in God. The fact that you took that step, not knowing if you had enough finances, not knowing if you were going to meet anyone in that city, at least you tried, and you've now seen that it is possible for you to do, even if it turns out to be a failure. You've gone and taken that step and proved to yourself that you can actually do it despite all those thoughts that came against you, and you can learn from that experience. The next tip, prayer against procrastination and perfectionism. Consistently, every day. Continue to transform and renew your mind. It's important to speak life over yourself. Say to yourself and encourage your soul that you can make it in this life. You do deserve all that God has for you. You do deserve to pursue those dreams that look outrageous to other people, because that is what you have in your heart to do. Speak to yourself every day. I can do it. I can move forward with my life. I deserve to progress with my life. I deserve to reach my full potential. I am advancing. I will no longer stay stuck in this position. God has more for me. God has better for me. Words like that consistently every day. I just want to further encourage you guys out there that God has a big plan for your life. God has a life of abundance waiting for you. It's up to you to take that decision and say, you know what, I've actually had enough of living a mediocre life. I do want more for myself. I do want more out of this life. I'm not going to listen to what my mind is telling me that I deserve. I'm not going to give in to these limitations. I'm going to step out of that boat and begin to progress and move forward. Though I may be crawling out of here, though I may be taking small steps to get out of this mental prison that I found myself in, you can do it. You can get the life that you want. You can get those friendships that you've always wanted. You may have experienced people around you that have tried to limit you your whole life, but it's time to take that power back and pour into yourself and keep moving in your life. Keep evolving. Take those new opportunities. Force yourself into those new experiences. Just keep going. You will get there eventually. Don't give in to what you've been going through and settling.